have you seen those videos of people using video to make like fake false preachers sermons? And they're saying like, "Is it really all that bad?"
Oh no!
And it's like that whole sermon, and proper like, and the people in the back are like, yeah. And it's like,
That's insane. That's insane.
I think the fact that you can also ask ChatGPT stuff like, for example, let's talk about sin now. You can ask ChatGPT, give me a reason for why sin is right. They are going to give you an answer as well. Like, they will give you an answer.
That's a mad question to ask.
Make you believe, okay, cool. Maybe sin isn't that bad because ChatGPT has literally just justified it. So like, it's a lot, like, you're always gonna get an answer to it anyways. Like, it's never gonna be like, I'm not really sure, I'll get back to you. Like,
That's hilarious. I'll get back to you. It's jokes. But what I'll say to that, to add on to that, you've actually touched a very interesting topic, which is another reason why ChatGPT is it's so powerful is because it becomes the ultimate yes man. It becomes the ultimate yes man, in the sense of like, it will even push back on you in a way in which you can even receive it. You know, you have some friends, they'll push back and you're like, bro, why is man talking like this, bro? Like, why is he saying like this? But ChatGPT will be like, oh, that's a decent idea, but have you seen it from this angle? And it's like, big man, that was a dumb idea.
it can't be wrong. Because how can you argue with the AI?
Oh gosh. And so yeah, like you said, if you start asking ChatGPT questions like, is sin right in this context, for example? Like, is it excusable? We come back to that thing me and you have discussed, Noah, which is something is right, something is wrong, and something can be justified, right? Something that is right, is always right no matter the situation. Something that is wrong is always wrong no matter the situation. But then there's something that is justified. That is something that is wrong, but because of the context of the situation, I can understand why you did that. Perfect example. Someone breaks into your house, you have a family. You now have a decision. Do I protect my family at the expense of this person's possible life? Or do I let my family get killed because I don't want to kill someone? Do you know what I'm saying? Brother, you better defend your family if you know what's good for you. That's what God placed you as a man, right? So let's say you had access to a gun or a baseball bat or something. Let's say baseball bat, we're in the UK, we're not in the US. Baseball bat, someone comes in, you see him creeping, and you whack him over the head. He falls over, faints. However, you call ambulance, police, they come, they try and take him, he dies in the ambulance on the way to the hospital. You have now committed murder, right? However, is it actually murder or is it self-defense? Because I think in the Bible, there's a different word for murder and manslaughter, right? So for me, it's a case of, oh snap, you've defended your family. Now, unfortunately, this person has died. Is this wrong? Our generation, I think, we tend to mix up justified and wrong. It's always wrong to kill someone. However, I can understand why you did what you did. It's justified. But that does not now make it right. And this can be applied to so many different topics of something can be justified but doesn't make it right. But I say all of that to say, fam, with AI, we gotta be careful. We just have to be.
So you talked about using AI in your spiritual life. You talked about using it in your workplace, doing emails, for example. You've talked about doing it. You can also do it in schools. But so, essentially, what part of society would you say is most affected by AI? Would you say it's schools? Would you say it's like our work lives, or would you just say it's our spiritual lives, really?
I think the biggest impact AI is going to have on us is the way we actually just live our lives daily. The reason I say that is because ask our grandparents when they were our age, could they imagine a world where everyone would have this device on them? They'll be like, what are you using the device for? I have letter, I have pen, I have things to reach out to people, I can go to people's houses. So I personally think AI is going to be so integrated in our lives, people are not going to understand life without AI, right? And so I'm thinking of like, apparently there might be a device that we don't know what it is. Like before the phone, we didn't know what a phone was. Do you know what I'm saying? There might be a device that is so compatible with AI that it becomes part of our daily lives. Are you get what I'm saying? And so for me, it's a case of, I think it's actually hard to know what sector of society is going to be affected the most. Because I actually think all of us are going to be affected. The way we do stuff is going to be affected. Because of the fact that AI will be so integrated with maybe virtual reality. It will be so integrated with the way in which you work. It will be so integrated in the way in which you communicate with people and go to the gym and all these things. Like, do you know what I'm saying? So I think I think that's why people are so scared of it, but also so fascinated by it, because the opportunities are endless. You feel me?
Saying that like AI has affected our spiritual lives, but so AI is a creation that only recently really has become really, really big, and we're using it so much that like it's just basically taken over our lives. So would you say it's basically been more of an impact than when the phone was created? Because you mentioned the phone. So the same way my phone was created, if I just look at ChatGPT, like this new thing, that's basically the equivalent of a phone that's been created.
What I would say, that's a great question. And the reason why I say it's a great question, I'm going to actually relate it to spiritual. I actually think there's a specific reason why Jesus came at the exact time he did. Because I think the way in which humans were living, his message would have gone at the best rate. It would have had the most potency, right? So when you talk about ChatGPT, I think it's different to the phone, because with the phone, it was gradual. Mobile phones telephones existed back in the day. Do you know what I'm saying? Cellular phones then started becoming a bigger thing in the 90s, right? Right? But then when you had something like a BlackBerry, bang, oh snap, you revolutionized phones. Oh, iPhone came out, 2007? That's a whole nother ballgame. Now the opportunities for what phones could be and can be, endless. The reason why I say ChatGPT is even worse than the phone is because all the groundwork for ChatGPT to go viral is there. Do you know what I'm saying? Like it can take off because the structure that's needed for ChatGPT to actually take off doesn't need to be created. We didn't need to, like back in the day, you would have had to started creating cellular masts so that all the different mobile providers can actually give you service. So they would have had to create an infrastructure that never existed. But because it uses the internet, brother, the infrastructure is there. So ChatGPT is just gonna blow. AI is just gonna blow. This is why I bring it back to what I said about Jesus. Because if I use the example of Jews, right? The Jews had a fundamental understanding of what morality was, right? What was good and what was evil was something that Jews had a monopoly of information and understanding on because they had the 10 Commandments. So when the Holy Spirit came, it had a structure in which it could absolutely blow. Hence why you had such a massive explosion of Christianity in the time and the area that it was in. It had to be amongst the Jews because the Jews had the monopoly on morality. But this is why Paul used to get mad with the Corinthians, because Paul would write back and be like, brother, why are you allowing someone to sleep with a stepmom? You understand morally this is wrong. And now you have the Holy Spirit and you're still doing it? Come on now. What are you man doing? Do you know what I'm saying? But for me, it's a case of ChatGPT and AI is going to revolutionize the way we do world. As in like we do life. It's going to change the world as we know it. 100%. Because bruv, how long has ChatGPT been around? What, since 2023? Brother, look at the way all of us are using it. I saw a stat the other day. It's now the 5th most visited website in the world after Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Google. Then it's ChatGPT or something like that. Someone correct me if I'm wrong. We'll put a picture on there. But I literally saw it like 2 days ago. It's like, brother, in 2 years, it's now one of the most popular sites ever used.
But one would argue this revolutionary march that it's been on has brought along good cause. I mean, good progress.
Absolutely.
Good stuff into their lives. It's actually benefited them
100%.
really well. So would you say that ChatGPT, the good things that it does can account for the bad things, the way it can bring you down spiritually and all of that? Or would you just say that it's completely bad, we shouldn't use it? Yeah, bye.
Again, I love using spiritual examples for this. would you say because you donated to charity over £1 million, you've served in your local community, you've been a fantastic son, does that negate the fact that you've killed someone?
No, of course.
I think that's the exact same for ChatGPT. It can have benefited so many people, and so many people have made money, changed their lives, whatever kind of thing, and brought understanding for people I can't even say the word, psychologically wise, right? Like you could have benefited from a deeper understanding of scenarios and situations and brought people out of poverty. But if you're leading people astray from God, does that negate that? It doesn't. And I think this is, for me, where we as humans, we don't actually understand, like, the fact that if you just break one of the laws, you've broken them all. In the sense of, this is why there had to be a perfect sacrifice. There had to be someone who never ever transgressed for us to even have an opportunity to be in his presence. So with all the good ChatGPT does, it does not negate the bad. That's in my opinion.
And it doesn't make up for it in any way.
How can it? It's kind of like, if you've killed someone's son, bruv, no matter what good deeds you've done, it can't take the back, you can't bring the son back.
It's interesting though, isn't it? Because it's a tool. Think about all the bad that the internet has brought. But think about at the same time how it's revolutionized the average person's ability to, let's say, study the word.
I completely hear that.
But the internet is one of the most rancid, dark places on earth. It's such a double-edged sword. And I think AI falls into a similar category. Because right now, we're beginning to see, it's in its infancy stage. It's
So young.
As it is,
So
it's in its
young.
infancy stage. It has potential to create so much evil. But at the same time, it may have some potential to
Save some people.
save some people.
I hear that.
The same way it has that potential.
Yeah.
So if I wanted to understand the word, let's say I wanted to start reading the word for the first ever time, and I decided to go and ChatGPT because I just finished reading the book of Matthew. I wanted to learn about the gospel, but I'm not really understanding it because I'm quite new. So if in that case I go and ChatGPT and say, can you explain the gospel of Matthew to me, just so that I can basically gain a foundation where I'm like, okay, cool, I actually understand this book now. Is that not doing something that's gonna help you come to Jesus, or are you, by using ChatGPT, are you still basically spiritually, I wouldn't say like breaking yourself, but just bringing your spiritual level down even more than?
So to answer that question, it's a great question. I think it goes back to what I was saying before, which is, as Christians, we cannot ignore the fact that AI is here and is here to stay. We must understand how AI works intimately, so that when you ask that question to ChatGPT, explain the book of Matthew, the theology is grounded in the understanding of the word that's from Christians of past. In the sense of, like, the reason why we understand the Bible the way we do is because Paul told this person who told this person who explained it to this person who explained it to this person, and we have a direct lineage, do you know what I'm saying? And as a result, you then also have the Holy Spirit to be like, that theology's off. And so for me, if Christians aren't in the process of tweaking AI, making AI better for society, brother, we'll run into a dangerous place where it's like, when you do ask that question, you're getting incorrect theology. So because AI is here to stay, what can we now do as Christians as a result of that? We have to be more knowledgeable about it. We have to understand how AI can be a stumbling block. The same way why I'm even wanting to do this video. Because I've come to realize I had fallen prey to trying to use the ChatGPT as a pseudo Holy Spirit. The Lord, thank God, convicted me. I now have to make active steps to stop relying on ChatGPT in this part of my life. But in this part of my life, there's no issues. Do you see what I'm saying? So it's a great question, because I think it could bring people closer to Christ. Absolutely. But in my opinion, I don't know if that negates the possible evil it could also bring. Like, I'm sure when the guy who created the internet, he didn't think that 20% of all information sent on the internet would be pornographic in nature. I'm sure he didn't know that when he built it. He didn't have that intention. I'm sure Sam Altman didn't have that intention when OpenAI decided they wanted to release ChatGPT, that it could cause Christians, not even Christians, it could cause unbelievers to never come to Christ as a result of them building that platform. Do you see what I'm saying? No one has that intention. But the human heart is desperately wicked, unfortunately. This is why we need the renewal of the Holy Spirit to keep washing us. And if we're relying on something that doesn't have the Holy Spirit to give us guidance that only the Holy Spirit can give, where do we end up? This is what it takes.